Hi everyone and welcome to the Free Range Diva. Today I want to start off by saying thank you to all of you who watched my houseplant tour video, because you made that my most watched video ever practically. It is extremely popular, even popular than the Dieffenbachia video, which I thought was pretty popular. But on that video I got a couple of questions about soil. So I thought today I would talk to you a bit about the soil that I use and why I use it. And I have a little plant here. This is a Hoya fungii that needs to be replanted in a bigger pot. So I figured I'd repot it as well and tell you a little bit about it too. So let's start with the soil. First of all, I think that, and mind you, I'm no expert, but in my recent year experience, I think that if you find a soil that is local to where you are, so basically going to your own, a nearby nursery, not so much a big box store, but a smaller, local nursery, and look at what soil they're using. You might want to start there simply because it seems like, at least that's been my experience at my local nursery, they stock soils that do well in this climate. So that's half the battle. That's like 90% of the battle. If you can get a good soil that's going to do well in your home, you'll have much less problems down the road. So here's what I picked up at my local nursery. This is the cactus and succulent potting mix from Dr. Earth. This has become the workhorse in my plant collection. I use this in almost everything. This soil, one of the reasons that I like it is because I have a plant that it's an aglaonema, and it's been in its regular nursery pot that I got from the nursery. Jeez, why am I having trouble talking? One of the reasons I like this soil is because I have another plant that is doing really well. It's thriving in its nursery pot, and I've had it for 10 months. And the soil in that pot is a very fluffy, light soil. It doesn't have a lot of perlite, but it holds water really well, but allows good drainage. So I've been looking for something similar, and this is what I found. This has no peat moss, no cocoa coir. It's simply fir bark. Let me tell you here. Yeah, fir bark, more fir bark, perlite, and then it has compost in here, as well as alfalfa meal, fish meal, and humic acid, kelp. And then it also has beneficial bacteria and microbes. And I'll show you a close-up of this soil because it's very lightweight. You can use it in, I use it obviously for Hoyas and peperomias and succulents, things that need good drainage, but I've also used it for philodendrons, my anthuriums, pretty much everything that's not something that really needs to stay moist all the time. So for those I have a companion soil, and I'll show that to you now. Okay. This is also from Dr. Earth. This is their pot of gold, all-purpose potting soil. This is a little bit richer than the cactus mix. It does have peat in here. It has worm castings in here. It also has fir bark and perlite. But this is for plants like my peace lily and my croton, things that want to stay moist all the time. In fact, I have to repot that croton because I'm watering it almost three times a week, which is insane. So I'm going to it's in, the croton right now is in this, and I'm going to switch it over to this. But anyway, those are the two soils. But mostly this is what I use pretty much all the time. Sometimes I'll mix in a little bit of this with it, but today this is all I'm going to use. When I amend this soil, I will use things like perlite, so I have some extra perlite over here, and orchid bark. And this is for plants like the Hoya that want their epiphytes, so they really want good drainage and, you know, because they can be prone to root rot if the soil is too rich for them. So, all right. I'm going to mix this soil up, mix everything up, and then show you. I'm going to repot this plant. I didn't mention before, but this is an organic potting soil. I always use organic soils because these plants are in my home. I'm breathing in the dust and handling the soil, so I don't want any unnecessary chemicals. These are the leaves. And these roots are still developing, so I'm not going to disturb them. I'm just going to carefully place it in the bigger nursery pot for more room and stability since the leaves are top heavy. So the Hoya fungii was described in 1934. It's native to China. Its leaf size, you can see the deep veining on these leaves. And these leaves can get anywhere from an average of about 4 to 6 inches long and 2 to 4 inches wide. They can also get as big as 8 inches long by 5 inches wide, or 20 by 12 centimeters. I wanted one of these big leafed vining Hoyas because, you know, I love the look of them, but this one, not only was it relatively easy for me to find, this is a very easy plant. I just watered the plant a few days ago and the soil is still slightly damp, so I'll wait a few more days before I water it in. So I wanted one of these big leaved Hoyas with this deep veining because I think they're really cool, but most of the varieties are very difficult. They're not for beginners. However, this one, according to Gardino Nursery and Betsy Begonia, who has an excellent YouTube channel here about Hoyas, this one is really, really easy. Doesn't require a lot of humidity, and it just, you know, the lighting is about right now it's getting bright light, a little bit of dappled sunlight, but really not very much, mostly just bright light. And I'm noticing that I'm seeing a little growth already. I got this from Secret Garden, and I've had it for about 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, again, this is a little bit rare, but you can find it from time to time. And I am looking forward to, let's see, shall we do that? Yeah, and the reason I'm keeping it in its nursery pot is so that I can continue to bottom water it. That way its root system will, you know, develop. It will be deeper and stronger roots since it's still a very young cutting. So, Hoya fungii. I'll keep you updated on its growth. Speaking of Hoyas that are kind of rare, I wanted to show you what has been going on with my Hoya fitchii. These are really hard to find, but I caught Gardino Nursery on the day that they stocked, and I was able to grab it before it sold out. That was back in April, I believe, and this plant has been so easy and such a fast grower. All summer long, both of these Hoyas sit in my western window. And during the summer, the way that the sun sets, it was getting maybe 2 hours of direct sunlight every day, and it was very gentle sunlight. Well, the sun has moved off to the opposite side of the world, and it gets dappled sunlight for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes through trees and through my neighbor's chimney, you know. So it's not getting the same amount of light, but so far it seems to be okay with the amount of light that it is getting. And it grows in spurts. It has flowered for me once, and the flowers are kind of a caramel pinky color, and they smell faintly of spice, like a spicy chai. And it's got 2 peduncles, and it's now just recently, after taking a break for about a month of growing, it started growing again. So it's got like this new vine and a new vine coming here. So this plant has been, it's probably my favorite plant in my collection, and it's been doing really, really well, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, I put it on a trellis because the vines were getting out of control. And but Hoya fitchii. This plant is native to the Philippines. Full shade to partial sun if you're going to put it outside. It's hardy to like around zone 10B and zone 11. It's just a really, really fast grower and a very easy grower, and it's just a great, great little plant, great little Hoya, and it doesn't take up a lot of space, which is important. And then, I know, one final thing. You know you have a problem when I went to a thrift store and I found this. Well, first of all, I rarely ever find anything at thrift stores, but I found this planter. Let me get it. All right, I found this gorgeous ceramic metal planter. I have seen these for $18 in in a really nice, expensive little nursery that I tend to stop into every now and then. And I found this at the thrift store for $2. So, but the thing is, I didn't have anything to put in it. I needed a plant that had a vertical element, so it was an upright grower that also didn't grow too fast, because I didn't want something that was going to grow out of the pot within 2 months. So, it's bad when you have to now go buy a plant because you have a planter that you love. But I did. And here's what I found. Is that not the cutest? This is a Parlor Palm. This is an easy palm. It's a vintage plant. I mean, people were putting these in their homes back in the Victorian age. And the reason why is because it's so easy. It's a slow grower. It'll grow tall, and it doesn't have any of the, it's not going to get huge. It's a hardy plant. You can let it dry out, or not. You can keep it moist, whatever whatever your environment calls for. We have a decent amount of humidity here most of the time, so I do let this dry out, and it's just been great, and I love it. So yeah, I know. All right, that's going to do it for today. I thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, if you found it helpful, please let me know by giving this video a like. If you want to see more planty things, like what's going on, like I did my first propagations in soil, and they seem to be working. So maybe that'll be another video. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Again, thank you for embracing my sort of newfound passion. And geez, yeah, I guess until I see you again in my next video, I'm wishing you all a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, because I'd love to have you part of the family. Okay, everybody, until I see you in my next video. Bye.